Well, moving right along, we have business from City Council. We will start with Councilmember Buckland.
Probably first and foremost, the Sikh Parade the other day. What an amazing event to have in our community that started in 1980, grew from 3,500 attendees, has gone through growing pains, and this year was a very well managed event. When you have an influx of over 100,000 individuals come into a city of 67,000 folks, you can expect some problems, but they were minimized through the efforts made by this council and the Sikh community and the Yuba City Police Department and all other public safety agencies last year following last year's event. We're also blessed with fantastic weather that doesn't compound the issues of parking and some of the other issues that occur. But with that said, the system was managed well. The outside contractors that came in and helped the temple with the process certainly made it a very easy event for most folks to attend. And I believe it was probably one of the best attended events for non-Sikh attendees that I've ever seen in the history of the parade. So the word is out there, and it is amazing. Shortly after that wrapped up, many of us had the opportunity to attend a dinner with the Secretary of the Air Force, and that would be Heather Wilson. And an absolutely amazing presentation was made by the Secretary regarding not just the operations of the Air Force, but also Beale Air Force Base's strategic position within the ACC. And I also would be remiss in saying that our Master of Ceremonies that handled the protocol of the evening, all of the protocol, and he is somewhat embarrassed by one flub up, but it was so minor at the very end, nobody paid attention. Mr. Krager handled that in a very, very professional manner. Yesterday, I also attended the Sacramento Council of Government Relations meeting, and the majority of that meeting was held in closed session, so I'm not at liberty to discuss that, other than it dealt with some real estate issues as we look forward to the next possibly 10 to 15 years of placement of the SACOG offices in the Sacramento area. With that, we're also moving forward on finalizing some plans as we move towards the year 2020 to be able to produce our metropolitan transportation plan that is required, and we have to reduce greenhouse gases by a significant amount. So we are working towards the finalization of those programs down at SACOG currently. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Cardoza.
Okay, it's been a fairly busy 3 weeks. I'll go ahead and start off with meetings. Attended the Yuba City Transit Authority, Regional Wastewater Management Authority, SASA, and we also, council had a ethics training, AB 1234, our biannual training for that. Chamber events. We had a few ribbon cuttings the last few weeks. We had the Silver Dollar Saloon. It's Coinel Brothers. They are a new production company in Marysville. They have an online broadcast network. New to the community, doing very, very well. And Tarot Showcase. We had a 10-year milestone for Angel Rizio, State Farm Insurance, and we had a 20-year milestone for the Sutter County Children and Families Commission. We attended the Business Connections breakfast. We had the state Beale, and the speaker was Galvin Hendricks. He's a deputy base civil engineer of a whole bunch of things. Community and city events. Like Councilman Buckland said, we attended the dinner with the Secretary of Air Force. Also attended the city's employee benefit fair, our Yuba City Police Department's open house, our sister cities welcoming, departing, our dinner, and also the mayor's reception, and the Youth Commission's Harvest Festival. For community, also attended the California Beer and Wine Festival down at the town center. It's a beautiful day. The fall banquet for Joshua House Men's Center, the Faith Connections Forum by Adventist Health and Rideout Hospital, the United Way Spectacular Run, and I'm going to butcher this real good. It's Dia de got me. Marantros. It's a festival, Halloween festival at the Yuba City Mall. A Spanish festival. I butchered that. Huh? Muertos. Thank you. Muertos. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Also, I attended the 3-day event at Sikh Parade. Started with fireworks Friday night. Nothing better. Fun time. We had celebrated our 150-year anniversary of the levee, Levee District Number 1 of Sutter County. That was a wonderful turnout. Great time. Had a tour of the elections office this week. See if there's anything new. They had a few new things. So hopefully it'll be nice and smooth transition tonight. Had another interview with the Yuba City High School government class, and I was had a tour of the OWA project by Sutter Butte Flood Control Agency. It's out on Pacific Heights Road near Orville. And then last but not least, I was a guest judge for Sofitai's annual Halloween contest. So that's it for me. And before I sign off, I want to wish everybody tonight's election night. I want to wish my fellow council members good luck, and hopefully we'll see you here tomorrow. And thank you. Or a new year. Excuse me, I said that wrong. A new year. Well, I'm butchering it good tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, let's just turn that one off. Councilmember Cleveland.
Thank you very much. I had some eventful weeks here. We'll start off with Yuba Center Transit and Regional Waste Management. Yuba Center Transit has gone to an electronic connect card to where you can basically just wave the card and it gets you around. They've been doing that for a couple of decades in Japan. When I've traveled there, that's how you do it. They have the cards and stuff. So here we're finally getting it. But we waited until all the bugs were worked out, and so the system we're putting in now and things is going to be in takeoff right away with most likely very little glitches involved. Regional Waste Management, just general discussion in that one. Let's see, moving on to, the Chamber of Breakfast. They were talking about the state of Beale Air Force Base. One of the neat things is the gentleman gave the history of Beale and how it got its name. He wasn't the first Beale gentleman that was a hero. It was his son, actually. So there was some neat history that I actually had not heard before. So I had wondered why there were two Beale bases, one on the East Coast and one on the West. Now I know why. Father and son. Then the Levee District 1 150th year celebration. We had somebody there that had been on there 1/3 of that time. Francis Silva, he's been there 50 years. Probably plus.
Or longer.
Yeah, nobody knows how old he is. Well, we do, but we tease him like that. But he has the history of the floods for a long time. Sister City from Japan came here from Torde. Had a great time with them. Had the mayor's reception and the dinner, their Halloween dinner. They love to do Halloween and dress up. So that's one of the opportunities they get to do, and we have that on the 29th. I have to hit the calendar here. And then we had a closed session dealing with a new city attorney selection, a 20-year milestone event for children and families, and the new location that they came in 2011. I remember dedicating that location when I was a county supervisor, and it looks even better inside there and more child-friendly, kid-friendly than when we first dedicated it. So they're doing a great job also on managing that. Sikh Parade, Saturday I had the opportunity to do seva, which means selfless service. I didn't just go there just to, walk around. I went there and actually served people, cooked food for 7 hours, and then the other couple hours I was enjoying myself otherwise. So I actually enjoy cooking, so many of the people here know that. So I had a great time. It was like me being in a candy store, being able to do that. The Youth Commission Harvest Festival at the Playseum, that was a lot of fun. They had a great turnout out there. And then, of course, many of the other different things that are going on in the community, just joining in and being part of the community. I'm looking forward for the election being over, and whatever happens, happens. Thank you.
Great.
You got to be censured for using the E word tonight. That's my suggestion.
All right, Vice Mayor Harris. Yeah, that's
Last couple of weeks were pretty busy. I was out of town on vacation. Spent some time over in Czech Republic and Ireland. So for a couple of days, I came back between today and then. Again, echoed everyone's sentiments about the Sikh parade and the festivities surrounding around that event. What a wonderful time. And I also noticed quite a lot of non-Sikh attendees, which was really pleasant to see. And people are missing out if they don't take the time to show up to that. It's a wonderful time. Again, the Secretary of the Air Force, the dinner there with Secretary Wilson, what a phenomenal speaker, phenomenal lady. Just a really good time for everybody involved. It was a pleasure getting to meet her. And then I also attended the send-off for our sister city folks. It's always a tearful event, bittersweet, but they clearly had a good time, and we made an impact on them here in Yuba City, and we'll of course return the favor later on. I also attended a meeting with their vice mayor and his staff, and then some staff from the city and the sister city, the word commission or association, discussing the 30-year anniversary, which for them, when we go in February, it won't be celebrated. When they come here in a year, we'll celebrate their 30-year here, and then the following year in 2020, when we go there, we'll celebrate 30 years. So they're already planning a big celebration, I think, in some type of monument as well. So it's a good time, and that is it for me for now.
great. Thank you. As far as my reports, I'm on the same as far as attending the dinner, Secretary of the Air Force. What a beautiful event. I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to actually sit and listen to her. Phenomenal speaker. Also, the sister city had lots of events with them throughout the week. They were here from October 26th through November 1st. So it's always wonderful to see them, and the excitement of the kids. Even though there's a language barrier, you can tell just the excitement. And Halloween is just so wonderful for them to put on costumes and enjoy. And the candy, I think they were all on a sugar high by the time they left. And then I think Manny handed out more sugar when they were getting on the bus too. Yeah. So I'm sure they appreciated that on the bus. And then I had the privilege and the honor to attend the Physician of the Year dinner as well last week. We went ahead and honored and provided a proclamation to Dr. John Rose, who's been in our area for many, many years. And that was Friday night, and had a great, great dinner held. So it was great to be there as well. And then, like everybody said, the Sikh parade, known as the Nagar Kirtan, that was the 39th annual Sikh parade. I've been attending that from the first year, the beginnings of it. I was 12 years old. So, but you know what the phenomenal thing about back then, it was that we all literally spent the night at the temple, building the floats. And a lot of the floats back then, they weren't the semi-trucks coming down the street. They were actually floats, and we would spend nights during the entire week building floats. And so I remember just camping out there, everybody's blankets and sleeping bags, and having a great time. So great childhood memories. Speaking of childhood memories, I actually, after all these years, got to visit my first Punjabi school teacher. So it was absolutely phenomenal to see him. And I mean, he saw me and he's like, And I'm like looking at him, and all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, that's my teacher. So great memories. Met some high school friends as well who actually came into town to see the parade, and they have not seen it in the past. Also, my adopted family, they actually joined in as well. So, like we said, some of the non-Sikh folks in our town that have not seen it in the past who were actually present. So, great event. Aside from that, I think everything else pretty much everybody covered it. So there's not anything else. Well, the speaker's gone, so you. Thank you. It was classic because in our closed session, everybody they were singing happy birthday, and that was interesting. I think Terrell heard it from her office, so but thank you very much. So I celebrate my birthday all month, so if anybody wants to get into the celebrate all month. All right, with that being said, meeting is adjourned for tonight.